Hello all, come back with me, Cahyadi Kurniawan. Now I want to explain to you all about passive voice and stative voice. First, we learn about passive voice. Passive voice is often used in communication. Passive voice is an alternative way of conveying something. If you usually convey something in communication using active voice, then as an alternative you can also convey it using passive voice. The point is that passive voice is the opposite of active voice. And what is passive voice? A sentence whose subject is subjected to a job or action, meaning that subject does not perform an action and only achieve an action. See for the example. First, Ferry hits body, it's active voice, and second, body is hit by Ferry is passive voice. In active voice, Ferry is the subject, where he performs an action that is hitting body, while on passive voice, body is the subject, where he receives from action from Ferry, which is at. As far for the subject itself can be noun, pronoun, or noun past. But as not, that not all active voice sentence can be converted into passive voice sentence. Sentences that can be converted into passive sentence are active sentence that have object, namely verbal sentence that have transitive verb. Next, about passive voice formula. Basically, there is only one passive voice formula. As you can see, and the percentage is subject, auxiliary verb, and past participle. For the formula to make a sentence, you can see at the table below. Next, we can compare with active voice. For the formula of passive voice, you can see at the percentage, and you can compare with action voice. If you want to change an active sentence that is included in one of the tenses, such as active sentence which is a present continuous tense, then to change it, you have to use the passive voice formula used in the present continuous tense, as well as everything. And this is example of passive voice sentence. You can see at the percentage. For example of active voice, you can see, and our example of passive voice to compare. After understanding the passive voice formula, I will give you a few examples of the sentence, along with the active sentence in order to the origin of the reversal. Next is stative passive. Now we learn about stative passive. In short, stative passive is a sentence with the pattern be plus verb 3, but the meaning does not contain in, as in passive sentence in general, but it means a state. For example, passive sentence, you will be helped by me, and this book was written by Susan. For example of stative passive, like this is, stuff is broken and he is interested in watching this movie. Next, stative passive pattern. In general, stative pattern or sentence structure are subject plus be plus verb 3 or past participle. Meanwhile, words that are often used in passive stative include the following: confused, lost, married, interest, worried, amazed, broken, bored, tired, done, amused, etc. Please note our word closest in the top table are adjective. And next, make a stative passive sentence. To make it easier for you to compose stative passive pattern, consider the following two simple sentence example. An example of passive stative in sentence like I'm worried and they were tired after studying with me. And for alternative uses of stative passive, we can arrange stative passive sentence pattern beside linking verb. See the example below. You look tired, I get bored, she feels confused. And then finally, thank you for studying with me.